Hi guys, and welcome to episode 73 of the Crochet Cakes podcast. My name is Clarissabeth, and this week I'll be chatting to you about some finished objects, some works in progress, and some repurposed crochet items. Hello, I hope you guys have been doing well and that you've had a beautifully productive, crafty past couple of weeks. And if you haven't been able to craft, I hope that you have at least had some fun and enjoyed life. Today is Sunday, February the 2nd. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and it is also the end of Imbolc. So Imbolc begins on the 1st of February at sundown, I believe, and then it ends on the 2nd of February at sundown. And it is just a kind of celebration of the beginning of the warmer months. So in the United States, we also just call that Groundhog Day, which I believe is today, the 2nd of February. But as usual, you can find me as Crochet Cakes anywhere on the internet. You may also follow my blog, crochetcakes.com, or maybe I should say my website, because it has a blog. It's got some links to the store, and it has some other ideas that I'm going to be playing around with as the year goes by to just kind of freshen up the blog and be able to communicate more effectively with you guys. I think that is all for the channel admin. I have been pretty quiet on Instagram. I've been posting more stories than actual photos, and I can't tell you why that is. I don't know myself. I've just really felt like posting to stories and not actual Instagram feed, which is weird. But I would say let's jump right into what I have finished, and then we can just keep chatting about crochet and knitting, and then maybe I'll just chat with you guys a little bit about what I've been up to these past couple of weeks. So kind of blocking it, so I'm just going to scooch a little bit to the side. If you're watching the video, then you'll be able to see there's something there that's knit. It's not on my needles anymore. And this is my finished object, the one and only fall scarf or stole. It is a knitting pattern designed by Emma Potter of Potter and Bloom, and it is available as part of her Hanging Rocks design volume 1, or it's also available as a standalone pattern. It is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry, and I don't know if she has it available on Etsy as well. So what can I tell you about this? It took me forever to make, not because of any fault of the pattern, but just because I'm a slow knitter, and that is okay. I'm learning to accept it. I have gained a little bit of traction because this whole project has a lot of garter stitch, which if you speak the lingo, it basically means that you're knitting flat, and that gives you these beautiful ridges that are known as the garter stitch. But it also has panels of a beautiful lace section where you practice your your yarn overs and your decreases. There's no increasing in here. It's the same amount of stitches all throughout, and I'm just going to take it off really quickly to measure, kind of give you an idea of how wide I made it, or how wide it turned out for me. So it is 24 and a half inches in width, and it's about 6 feet long, I would say. I did use up a lot. I've got a little bit left over of the main color, which is the colored bone from Carron Simply Soft. This is one of my favorite neutrals. Carron Simply Soft, for those of you that maybe aren't familiar with it, is a 100% acrylic yarn. I've used it in crochet mainly. This is the first time I knit with it, and I found it just as splitty to knit with as it is to crochet with. So that's a little bit of a downside to using Carron Simply Soft yarn. It is also very, very soft acrylic, so I didn't block this scarf. What I did was that I washed it and I put it in the dryer, so there's a lot of halo going on that you may or may not be able to see. thought I would hold that closer to the camera so you'd be able to see. Now, color Bone is not the only color that I have used in this scarf. I have also broken up the neutral sand color. Bone is kind of a sandy color with Chartreuse, which is a yellowy green, and I love it. I'm gonna stand up and show you. It is really, really warm, and even though it took me forever, I love it. I've used it today actually because it was kind of chilly outside. It's still 65 degrees, which is the high for today, which is very, very exciting. But back to this shawl. What else can I tell you about this? I think it's a good pattern even if you are learning to knit, because like I said, you practice a lot of your knit stitches and then you can practice yarn overs and decreases. I used the same needle that was recommended in the pattern, which is a 5mm knitting needle. I think I talked about this the last time, where I had replaced the clover bamboo needles with some nice Chiagu metal needles because my dog had chewed on the clover bamboo, so they're really just kind of decoration right now. They're not very fun to use. The yarn gets stuck in them. You know, it's just reality, guys, reality. But as I was saying, I think this is a wonderful pattern, and I kind of love that it's in acrylic because I'm not afraid to use it and put it in the washer and the dryer, get makeup on it. I know it'll come off, and I don't need to set aside a specific time or date in which I'm gonna make this scarf. It is honestly almost a blanket. It covers me width to width if I wear it, so I can snuggle up in it, and it's just really, really nice and soft. And the stitches relaxed a lot in the washer and the dryer. It wasn't that it was tough before, but I would say that it's definitely relaxed a lot. And that's good. That's good. That's what you want in a nice, lovely, squishy scarf. Okay, so like I said, if you're interested, it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and I would actually recommend getting the Hanging Rock Designs Volume 1 entirely. I've made the open socks from that pattern, from that collection, and I loved making them. They were so fun. And I've also made this fall scarf, which is brilliant. And now I just have to make the Balance Shawl, which is a crochet V-neck shawl that uses 150 grams of fingering weight yarn, I believe. And I do have some yarn that will fit with that perfectly that came from a Knit Crate box subscription. So I'm trying to work my way through the Hanging Rock Designs collection by Emma. And so far, so good. I have nothing bad to say about anything right now. This is the only finished object because that's what I worked on forever to just try and finish it, and because I was having so much fun making it and it was just so cuddly, it did get very annoying to travel with, though. I just ended up not taking a project bag, and I would just put it inside my big tote bag, and I would put an Oceans pouch in there, and just made the traveling easier. When I had to insert it into a project bag, it was just horrible trying to maneuver everything in there. So that's it for finished objects. The other finished object I'm going to share with you is something I finished a long time ago. But the reason I'm sharing it with you in the finished objects segment is because I've decided what I'm going to do with it. Now, I don't know if you guys recall this project. This is the Angel Face Turban, and it was knit using the Fred colorway from Diabolical Yarns, and it is a blend of merino, tencel, and nylon. So this is a turban, and I'm attempting to wear it right now so you guys can see how it looks like on me. So the ties are supposed to just end there, okay? But it's so big on me that I have to do a bow for starters. And I haven't even blocked this, guys, okay? So this is how big it is on me. It's just really huge, really huge. And I decided I was never going to wear it. If you're watching it, I can fit a whole other head inside this turban, I believe. So I was going to rip it back reluctantly because I'd been wanting to make this angel face turban for the longest time, and I loved the colors I chose. The colorway, as I said, is the Fred colorway, and it has, it's a variegated yarn. It's got some reds, some purples, some grays, browns, darker browns, lighter reds, and it's just, I really like it. I thought it was a very fun, neutral color because of the browns and the grays. They kind of toned down the red, so I felt that I could wear it with a lot of things. And it's in the style of rockabilly. If you're familiar with it, just kind of think Grease, and you know, the whole poster where the woman's just being strong. Anyway, the turban is way too big for me, but my friend Sophie, she's got gorgeous hair and she's got a lot of it, so she can fill this turban very nicely. And I took it to her house and she loved it and it fit her really well, and she said that she even dreamt about it. So I woven all the ends, and I will be gifting that to her the next time I see her, which hopefully will be sometime this week, because I'm excited to give this beautifully knit turban a new home. Now, as far as works in progress go, I got several things that are works in progress that I haven't made any progress on and that I haven't even picked up. One of those are the socks, the lace weight socks I shared with you last time. I've done nothing, not even one row. There's nothing. I have what can I say? I have a blanket that I have on the go that I've done nothing to. I've got a pair of knit socks that I've not touched since I cast them on for my birthday last year. And I've got a pair of knit socks that I haven't touched in 2 years that I started for my sister ages ago. But I did start something, and it's a garment. I haven't worked on a garment for me in a long time. And the reason I decided to start it was because I was looking in my closet, and this might sound petty or maybe materialistic, but I do not like any of the blouses or shirts I currently have. So I find that some of them are too casual, so I like wearing t-shirts around the house. I don't usually wear them to go out unless I can pair them up with a nice high-waist skirt that will make them look really chic and things like that. Most of the shirts I own are actually long sleeve, and I use them for work, and I do not like to use things that I use for work to go out. And also I've gained weight. I've gained, I would say 10 pounds. So I now weigh 135 pounds, and that means that I had to shop for all different sorts of pants because I couldn't fit into any of my pants. So all this to say that I needed to update my wardrobe. So I turned to a pattern that I've already made once before, but I absolutely loved how it fit. And this is the Riverette top that came out in Pom Pom magazine. Yep, issue 5, Pom Pom magazine spring. I don't know what year it was because I just printed the pattern off. I have the actual digital magazine somewhere, but this is the design. So the Riverette top is worked in 4 pieces, and it's got raglan increases on each shoulder area, and then it's got like a raglan design all the way down the middle that is used to connect the front left and the front right. And in the back, you just join it with slip stitches or however you feel like joining it. And don't know, I think I'm making size 1 because that's the size I made previously for the rivet top, which I made in orange. So that's the size I decided to go with anyway. And I'm making it in the leftover Lowly yarn, which is by Conway and Bliss, and so yeah, Debbie Bliss. It was a collab with Debbie Bliss, and this is yarn that was left over from when I did the Secret Garden dress. This is a chain plied yarn, and it is a cotton acrylic blend, and the color I'm using is lemon, and it's a very bright yellow. If you're seeing, it's a very bright yellow that's also got specks, you know, sprinkled about with neon green, neon pink, grays. I love this yarn, and I loved the design. So I literally started this on Saturday. That's when I started this, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows completed. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, my toes, and my paws, that I will have enough yarn to actually complete the blouse. I know I'm gonna have to use some of the other Lowly yarn that I had left over. I'm pretty sure I might combine it with the apple colorway, which is a green, but it's like a teal green. Pretty sure I'm going to combine those two because the size 1, which I'm making, uses 7 balls, and I only have 5 3/4 balls of this grams, and they're 50-gram balls. And this is what I have left, which I think is maybe 25 grams, and I've only completed 7 rows. But if I'm able to complete each panel with a 50-gram ball, then I will certainly have enough to complete the blouse, which is exciting. I haven't made any adjustments to the pattern, but I think that after I finish seaming it together, if I have yarn left over, I may add some rows at the bottom just to make it a little bit longer, because I do not want it so cropped. I want to be able to use this blouse a lot because I've been dreaming about starting it for over a year now. And I finally got around to starting it. All right, so that is it for my crochet talk. The other things I wanted to share with you is just kind of things I've been loving this week and what I've been up to. I finished the book that I had told you guys about that was titled The First Girl Child. It was a really interesting book. I had originally purchased it because I thought it was a sort of Viking romance novel. There was romance in it, but I think the book was more about family and valuing the people for who they are and not what they seem. I think that's what I took away from that book anyway. I've also been reading The 6 Wives of Henry VIII. I think I told you guys about that one. It's by Alison Weir. I've kind of been saving that book though, because I also bought the audiobook for it, so I can listen while I knit or crochet, and it's just really fun. I did finish the chapter, or the part on Catherine of Aragon, and I have started on the part for Anne Boleyn. And Mom had the great idea that I should probably start the 6 Wives Shawl, since I am reading the book titled The 6 Wives of Henry VIII. And I think I will. For those of you who don't know, the 6 Wives Shawl is a shawl pattern designed by Emma from Powder and Bloom. I think I should call this the Emma podcast, because I've mostly talked about stuff that Emma's designed. I like her designs, and I think she gives them good names too, which is very intriguing to me. But anyway, I was looking through my stash and I don't know that I have any yarns that I would like to use to represent the 6 wives. I know for the original pattern, Emma used the color gold to represent Catherine of Aragon. And I don't know that I would use gold because Catalina de Aragon was from the Spanish court. And the Spaniards were very somber in their colors. So I think I would have to use something somber for her. And I know that Anne Boleyn had very dark hair as well. So maybe I'll make like a gray scale shawl. There's an idea. Anyway, the other thing that I've been up to, well, or maybe not up to, because, you know, I've mostly been working and finishing books that I've, like the First Girl Child, and I'm still reading The Dreams of Isis, which is a book by Norman D. Ellis that I had previously mentioned. I'll include links to all the things I'm talking about in the down bar below, just in case you didn't understand what I was saying or you would like to explore what I am talking about. But something fun that we did, and I showed in the intro of the video, was the Renaissance Fair. Yes, last weekend, Edison and I went to a Renaissance Fair. It was the first time I'd ever been to one, and it was so much fun. I did archery. I failed miserably. Merida, I am not, and I would have to practice a lot to actually shoot at the target, you know, but it was still so much fun. And what did we do other? I don't think I didn't try any knife throwing. I was scared, but we did see a joust, and that was, wow. I mean, they were wearing legitimate armor, guys, and there was a girl participating as well, and her name was Sir Lilith. So that was just fun. Honestly, it was just really, really good fun. And the other thing that I did was actually today I went to a consignment store because I received text messages from them, and they had written to let me know that they were having everything in the store $2. But what they did was they obviously took out bins of things that they had maybe a surplus of, so you had to search through bins, and people were a little crazy. I did manage to find a couple of things, which was good because, as I said, I was looking for a whole new wardrobe. Didn't find it, but I did find a couple of pieces that I'm really happy with. And actually, I'm wearing one of them. I got this Kate Spade bracelet for $2. That was exciting. But anyway, that is all I have to share with you guys this week. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. Thank you for your suggestions about where I can donate to Australia and the charities I can donate to. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to keep looking for ways to help, and I hope you guys do too. We need to spread more love in this world and share a bit of ourselves so to make this world a better place. So that is it for me this week. I just want to wish you a very happy crafting week, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe already so you can keep up to date with the videos I upload to the channel. I do have to organize myself because it's already February and I've been wanting to do a tutorial for you guys and a pattern, so those will hopefully be coming up sometime this year. But I'll definitely let you know through the community posts on YouTube as well as through Instagram. Bye guys, have a happy crafting!